Hey Rad World, I just saw Logan Lucky. Logan Lucky has a huge cast. It stars Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, Daniel Craig, Seth MacFarlane, Riley Keough, Katie Holmes, Sebastian Stan, Hilary Swank, and with a cast like this, with a cast this big, I would normally be scared. With movies that just, throw in a ton of celebrities, you kind of are like, okay, what's the thing going on here? Why are there so many celebrities in the movie? Like, why are you trying to pull so many people in? It's usually a sign kind of a bad movie, like just something that's just going to run off star power. But it's directed by Steven Soderbergh, and there's something that he does really well, and that is direct ensemble casts. This is the director of the Ocean's trilogy, as well as Magic Mike, and he knows how to handle a big group of people, tons of stars. It's just kind of what he does. But what he also does really well is he makes heist movies. And that's what the core of this movie is a heist movie. For those who don't know, Logan Lucky is about two brothers played by Adam Driver and Channing Tatum, and basically they're gonna rob a big NASCAR event. So this movie was excellent. It's very, very well directed and very well put together. Steven Soderbergh, as I said before, knows how to direct an ensemble cast very well. Performances all around the board are excellent. Channing Tatum and Adam Driver both play these, redneck brothers, and they got the thick Southern accents going on, which at first maybe was a little bit distracting because it kind of feels a little cartoony, but then as the movie progresses, you start to get the feel that that's the whole theme of it, is that everybody's playing kind of an eccentric character to an extent. The standout actor though in this has to be Daniel Craig. The character that he plays is so just out of the realm of what he normally does, and he's amazing in it. He's really, really funny and just gives one hell of a performance. Movie's got great direction and great actors doing what they do best, but at the core, the reason this movie succeeds so well is it's really, really well written. Every single line in this movie is used for a very specific reason. There's nothing that's said that is a throwaway line. There are things that are said early on that you think are throwaway lines that come back in the end. Everything ties together really, really nicely, yet still leaves it just open enough to where if they want to do a sequel, they could do a sequel, but not necessary. I love what they've done here, and if this is where it ends, that's fine. If they want to do more, I would watch it, definitely. Random little side note, the movie is written by a woman named Rebekah Blunt, who doesn't exist. This is like the first movie that she's ever written. Nobody knows who this woman is. People are trying to do interviews with her. It just seems that she's not real, so I'm wondering if this is like a pseudonym for someone. I don't know who this woman is, but if she is real, I am excited to see movies that she writes come out later in the future, because this movie is, as I said before, at its core, the story it's just solid. It is one of the best stories written line for line. Everything works so perfectly. The music is a great touch. It works really well. It's not like a huge standout score by any means, but it does work really well with this whole NASCAR themed, like Southern redneck feel that the movie's got going for it. All the music works really well with that. The only issue I really have with the movie is the beginning was a little slow getting into the characters, but that's kind of because of just like the accents that everybody's using, and everything kind of comes off a little cartoony at first, and you're just like, what am I watching exactly? But it didn't take too long for me to get really invested into all of the characters and just follow them through this, this eccentric kind of heist that they do. Man, it's surprisingly really, really funny. Like, it's serious when it needs to be, but when they crack jokes, man, does it hit hard, and it is really, really funny. There are so many actors in this movie. Katie Holmes plays Channing Tatum's ex-wife, and she does really well. Seth MacFarlane plays a character that comes off just a little too cartoony when his character is first introduced, but by the end of the movie, you just totally buy into it, and he's just, I don't know, he's so great. Hilary Swank even shows up in this movie. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen her in something, and she plays an FBI agent, like real hardened FBI agent, and I think that she does a really great job there. I really just thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I think that this is a movie that you need to go out and see this weekend. If you go see any movie this weekend, this is the one that needs to be seen, because it's I feel like it's flying a little under the radar. It's a little bit of a smaller movie, but with this cast and this director, and if you're into heist movies for sure, you're a fan of the Ocean's movies, go out and see this movie. It is absolutely fantastic. This movie really is probably really high up there as far as being close to my favorite movie of the year. So far, it's like neck and neck right there with Baby Driver. I gotta give Logan Lucky a 9.5 out of 10. I absolutely enjoyed this movie. It hits so well on so many levels. It's funny. It's just well directed, well acted, just a really, really great story, and it's a really good heist movie. Seriously, get out and see this movie this weekend. If you liked this review, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, check out the review we did over there. If you haven't listened to the Rad podcast yet, go check that out on the Rad Entertainment channel. It's also on iTunes. We have a new one coming out with a lot of special guests. Check that one out. And we'll catch you guys next week right here on Rad Movies.